While vampires have been around forever, lately there's been a resurgence in their popularity. Here's CBS News correspondent Michelle Miller, who's in New York with more. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Well, people are always thirsty for new trends, and now these legendary monsters may be satisfying their taste buds.
I am Dracula.
Once, the Count ruled as the baddest bloodsucker of them all. But in the 1980s, that dark, evil image became younger and hotter in The Lost Boys.
I haven't been human for 200 years.
Vampires grew a conscience in the 90s after an interview with one, and slayed audiences with Buffy's love 'em but hate 'em routine. Now the new Night Stalkers are giving those other vamps a run for the title.
I think everyone's digging vampires.
They're all the rage in books, movies, and on TV.
There's always been a fascination with vampires and lusting after what you can't have.
CARISSA Rosenberg is 17 Magazine's entertainment editor. So vampires are cool now.
I guess it's cool to be into vampires right now. Definitely.
Blame the Twilight book series and its big screen namesake. Kristen Stewart says the story's simply irresistible.
It's just about two people that are dysfunctionally devoted to each other and how it screws with everything else in their lives.
Say it.
Vampire.
Immortality, seduction, longing, it's all in there.
She smells fresh.
Add a little raunch, and you've got TV's hottest new cable series.
I can't live without True Blood once a week. It's so sexy.
In True Blood, vampires have come out of the coffin, so to speak. The subtext so complete, it's meant true love for its co-stars, now engaged in real life. Marketers are also sucking up the sex appeal.
I think this trend is like vampires themselves, undead.
There are cards, Barbie dolls, makeup, clothing. With the Twilight sequel New Moon and another series, The Vampire Diaries, set to be released this fall, fans are letting the undead in and perhaps living through them.
Is it not enough just to have a long and happy life with me?
It would be for me. And Julie, if that doesn't quench your thirst, True Blood, the beverage, is now available online for anyone who really needs a taste of the vampire lifestyle. And we brought some for everyone to try. Julie, you probably shouldn't, you know, with the baby, with the baby on the way. But you've got to try this, folks.
I want everyone to take a sip and tell me what it
fruity.
tastes like.
Well, you know, the premise of the series is vampires can come out of the coffin, so to speak, because, you know, now they have a synthetic drink just for them to drink.
Yeah, it's just fruity, fizzy.
It's bubbly and fruity.
It's very good.
Is it like Hawaiian Punch, Maggie?
It is.
You know
Yeah,
what?
Jules, exactly.
Dead on.
Hey, you guys have
No pun intended.
That's very nice.
Okay.
You guys have favorite vampire movies?
Right. Who likes vampire movies here?
Me, obviously.
I was never a huge fan. Although I will say this, that True Blood series is fantastic, but from a movie standpoint, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I can really jump on the bandwagon.
Well, it's obvious I'm into Twilight, but it was Bram Stoker's Dracula and Blade.
Oh. When they asked us our favorite, I would be willing to bet, because usually when they ask us our favorites, that Julie and I would have the same favorite, because we're from the same generation, graduated high school the same year. So Jules, was yours Lost Boys? Thank you. You see?
I felt weak saying it. Like, does that qualify?
Jules, we're so 80s.
Don't tell me it was your infatuation with Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
The two Corys in one.
Jason Patrick, wasn't he?
Jason Patrick's hot.
Jason Patrick, Kiefer Sutherland, that was the biker. It was,
it was the launch of the new vampire.
Look, Julie's thinking about it and fanning herself. Or is that just your pregnancy?
How about you, Russ?
I'm like you, Chris. Not a big vampire movie. I do like True Blood, but when I told our producer Kate Gibson, I said American Werewolf in London, which she wrote me this very curt note back. Russ, that's not a vampire. That's a werewolf.
No, it said she hit reply all, and it said Russ, as the name implies. That is a werewolf movie, not a vampire.
Case. Yes.
Because they asked me, and I said Top Gun, and they're like, "That's not a vampire."
No, which one did you really say, Chris?
All right, Gad, put the pictures up, and you can have your own jokes for this, of the one that I just chose.
Oh, George Hamilton.
Is that you?
Love at first bite.
Striking resemblance to George
Love
Hamilton.
at first bite. Susan St. James right there. It's when you're
You recognize how much you look like him,
that
right?
familiar pain in the neck meets your funny bone. You know, it's funny. I met George Hamilton once.
You're not acknowledging this. You look a lot like him.
Yeah, well, the tan. Everybody's like, well,
and the hair.
I met George Hamilton.
Especially with the part down the middle.
Yeah, right. When I used to work at ET, I interviewed George Hamilton once. I said, "How come you are always tan?" I said, "What is the deal?" He said, "To be honest with you, Chris, here's my secret. Before I do a Tonight Show or a Regis and Kathy Lee, I like to do what I call topping off." So he tops off. He's not like that all the time. So now you know. Thank you, George, for that.
We'll drink to that.
Resemblance.
Cheers. We'll be right back.